ngabahereye akazindalu bende bakatura mucha neryo after that bakende yendibwa bakatubwera ebyo ebyabatuhekere bayeni namabatangero mu studio sekini Light FM nga yanira yatukekolesya mubuye owa orukonzo kutyo orusungu kiryo kwinywe nga mukekolesya mubuye wa
okay wasinja kusiku moderator
inga
erutura hostingano kiri kya munawire okumena Numbere Godson kandi ngakora n'ekitongole kya Vision International Actors itunumukolera hawo mana benzi betu abe Faraja Africa Foundation so kiri kya munawire tukebitukakanaya yanenyi okubihambira kwa bulolo kandi na nobuvoyi ngabukanda bote beti chikotu nuba tutobuvoyi sibukoleki sibuendi mbere
okay wasinja oyo ni Mumbere Godson wa Vision International kwa mabere troweratia let us have someone else. Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you for having us. My name is Kasese.
Yes.
And I'm program officer and program and advocacy officer at Faraja Africa Foundation. And we're here in Kasese today to discuss about election violence, pre and post-election time.
Okay.
Yeah. So we saw yesterday that there was no violence. There was no violence reported in Kasese, and so we want to know how do the young people prevent this, and then we want to know, because now results are coming in and elections are still going on, we want to make sure that young people are not violent until elections are done.
Okay. Thank you so much. Oyone Edna Kasese atene program officer kandi advocacy officer owa Faraja Africa Foundation. Leka tutunge yo ndi muyeni. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Amena ni
Kasese Livia.
Ngakora ne Vision International Actors. Kandi galanurikania okwa post and pre violence eyabyaho. But good of all, ahunga byayinje personally, there was nothing like violence.
Muliworo.
Yes.
That is very good. Yeah. Mwasinja eriasa neriba ngokwa mama betrobwera mulikiri mwanzo tweet abayeni abakarwa omwa Faraja Africa Foundation nikitunga ekika watikana yana menyetro erangera kwa hamabya obohoro omwa byosi bubye busombole nebende tuweta bayine bakarwa mwa Vision International Actors nabo bande hanu bakakanaya okwabendo ebyo busombole kutsi elections nerangera kubutolererebya obohoro kutsi obuli peaceful. Neriba ngende anza mutukaniraye. I would like you to now tell us exactly about issues concerning elections, pre-election, during and after elections. What do you expect people to behave to ensure that the election is very peaceful? Masinja, you can use any language of your choice, but basically vernacular. Okay, English, no problem. We shall translate.
Okay.
Yes.
First of all, it's not in our position as civil society organizations or as Faraja Africa Foundation to suggest to make young people tell them what to do in order to prevent electoral violence.
Yes.
We feel like young people are actually very brilliant, and all they need is a platform for them to speak to their fellow young people about how election violence can be curbed pre and post.
Okay.
So, but most importantly today, we since elections already started, we want to ask young people how to concede with the results.
Yes.
Okay? If your candidate has lost, how can you concede with the results without resulting to beating your neighbor who was supporting the other candidate?
Okay.
Yes.
Wasinja oyo mwene wetu Godson singa no kavendora kutsinga ngahendole wasinja Edna Kasese amabwa ate abandu abalere ebuba kayisunza erehebwa omwanya kutse erehebwa muyisa obubanga kolesya erirwanisya obutsumbo kutse obuvuyo obukatrika omabutuko obusombole obuvuyo obo kukira munu bukatrika obusombole buti bwabya obongo mwabutuko abandu bakarondekana katuli kutsi ibwe Africa omwabutuko hakabyarikoma kandi obuvuyu ibwatwika linyuma wa obusombole eribya ebwaberibya so inyakabwate eminyetu tutolere itwayitsungira omwa busombole bitwererangera tukaletaho obuhoro ese tuliyitsungira kutse erikolesibwa omwiretaho obuvuyu mwasinja tutungeyo owunde naisabana echa erirabya okwadeka 53 esyamaraba kwasa hanguma
so ngaita erisima abatulikiriri abaribya ibane okwachini mbacheno ariho kiromatso tukakana yako kiri kyamunabwiti emura minene hakakira munaribya obutsumbutsumbu tuti twakoma kutse tukakoma kandi hanyima yerikoma and emura minene tukaranga tuti eminyetu nikabya affected kutsewe
okay
betu ngaita erisima aba youth abe Kasese no district estuli kwaku habwerebya esahano esutwatunga obutsumbutsumbu bosi obwo mwaro omubutuli muri woro mugakana tunga omuyisa oweritimba kusya polling stations eseringa kumyasaro betu muchanyise mesiri ende aba youth nabakuru babyaho mbatibi bakatunga butsibusi bosi like matibya erikacha emho
okay
mchinyango okusha area jesende eriko mamulya tsukiro butuku ibwabiriyenda baitu abantu mbakana bya calm bambalangerende bagakoma abantu babo banzire so inje echo ngabo ndisitwanga kitwala just for granted
okay.
we are happy about it kandi echukurumon itunga ba youth emure mene nakaka bibutsumbutsu nitutukaferawa nitubaka biboko nitukala sawa at the end of that day nabandi bakorect iboko bitu yenje ngatsimire sayano aribyende itungo mukasese hano salo kavye kakolireki
akabanikira that is very good
yes legend kande ukasukarangera ese hano ngoma checha muntu ngawoti amahamanene inde bakazikaribe ibakaranga ababiri koreki ababiri singa
yes
so engende saba abakendibya ibabiri singwa mukirende babiri koreki babiri basinga konde emiura minene ayiwa singiro akatikiriria at asingirwe aho no hakasireki obutsebu
yes
abakamu asakwenyuma ba supporters more especially abanene iniminyetu nibo bakabukuleki ibakafunga mu butsebu so ingende saba bama babukusinga ukoleki iwikiriria nababiri singa ibana rihononi abakolireki abasingirwe kunde mure minene ebyose bikaleteki obutsebu omudana bwati mutwe obatuke basinga na argument yakoleki
yabanekiraho
beitu echunga sabanya Kasese indifuleka rikoleki tulekere bitukachika kuko ndifenziro obuholo kandi tunasine situation ere mu Kasese tuletwa bya peaceful
okay
kandi that is our message arangerende itunga minyetu as young people we need to be peaceful everywhere we go in and everything we do
omwami Godson or even Edna and Sylvia hali issue ya civic education it seems the youth are not fully engaged in the electoral processes basically civic education yikabya eyirelo neryo ekyasiga abanene babisiba with information yikawunza neryo bayitsongera mu violent activities babya used by politicians yet in the end they don't participate for example like voting ukasangana eminyetwe menene eikakoma eminyetwe menene siyerekoma nyenga Faraja Africa International Courts Vision International Actors mukakora muterangera muti mwamalete minyetu on board
echo kabwana mazima konde emure menene ebindu bino bya civic education bikakira muno eri asa kutsebutsebu obukome buka college
buka yahika kandi obutukwe buka yahwayo
kandi obutukwe buka yahwayo so ayine gap engalagerende inakolireki yinaho bete chikoro itwe omwami kolere ya tunge Faraja kandi Haimane Vision tukaende tunumumanyisha abayuth abatukande tunumbana tutibwano ekina cyamabi utolwa koreki wayirendo kwa butabango because obutabango bukale kata byongora kurana na nyike eyikabiyereho ikakoreki ikasisikara only that netu ekifu nimwe yande tukalwerako omusya spaces yitu kandi tukabya kirende hatango kutwama birikoma munabwiri kambe abantu ebayenda mbere ebanimsomesibwa okubya obusombo ericha kandi atukisa koreki atukisa komera eribite challenge ukasanga ikayereho ebindu ebi bikabe buti abadonors abakakoreki abakataka mu sente nero obulu bukaba birehwa nene sente yese koreki
nasisi aboro
na uwaisanga ebitongole ebinene ibyasibuti amani ayo owerebe ibyanganende mbere ibinumsomesha abantu bait ingende saba abahulikiriri haimane nyunyu mukabi imnote opportunity eribyo kwambayo and mutwale mwende mbere na etukanda tukabya
okay
nabantu bakabatukanda tukabana tutole twende mbere tunumukoleji itunumsomesha abantu ngokuba ngayirenda for example itwingi embireme ne tukakora ina ba youth but basically tukandi tukababwera ngokuba ngayirenda ukwabutabanguko because cyo kubanza sale kiwanga kora hanaho butabanguko for example Uganda sayano ya masama kavuyo itubose embiriye twikendi college ikendi man no koredi ko hanu ngatunda tokero college area saho icyamenyese kita akasente akakuka tunga ngo musara nakukeka ferwa aba se business na sikendi kwa aba kokore embiri tatata nabo ke college
nabo
bakendi ferwa so basically just kwanza tute embiri yetu ya college yenda mbere
okay
but it is an advocacy issue erangerende tukarwa kotsebu tikembe erangerende abantu bamaende mbere banumukorechi ibanumsomesibwa.
Okay, Wasinja, I would like to ask Madam Edina Kasese, the programs officer Faraja, how did you this time around engage youth to participate in the elections 2021? Because there seems to be an increase in participation levels of the youth.
Okay, I think we were in Kasese.
Yeah, you could raise your voice a bit.
We were in Kasese about 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
And we were talking about youth participation in democratic processes.
Okay.
Democratic spaces. And so we ensured that this time round, as Faraja in our means,
yes,
we got some young people from Kasese, I think Mumbere to join the team of observers to observe elections in about how many polling stations? I'm not sure. I'm yet to get.
Was it in the municipality or even some sub-counties?
That's really up to Mumbere.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm yet to get a report from him about what he observed and where he observed.
Okay.
So we are looking. We engaged these young people in democratic spaces. We engaged them in these elections.
Okay.
And we did not get accreditation for voter education.
Okay.
So we were not allowed to civically educate young people. We were just given the opportunity to give them a platform to engage.
Okay.
So.
All right. Let us hold it there. Siama byasaha ibiri syenyine mulikiri mwanzwa abayeni tukine nabo mu studio tukatsuka bayatunga omwatsi. We are going to have news in English, after which we shall return etwenda mbere na eribya etukatunga emyatsi eyihambire okwa eminyetu ngokwa yitolere eri yitsungira omwa busombole bitu omwa mibere eyikale tobohoro. Suro kwa chini Light FM tukine nawo news in English up next.
102.9
Light FM.
Ukoleke umwatsi ukuwetu marusungu okwa saha ibiri. Tule nabayini mwa studio abakaro machitunge cha Faraja Africa Foundation bakasi atukanira ya okwa esyanzumwa esahambire kwa minyetro nayo ngokwa yange nayitsungera omabule chendo yibye politiki yibye soboro baitu kwirabiriria obule chendo cyabakakora ebakachikora omwabuhoro munabure tukakana ya okwa busombole muri woro habya obusombole eminyetu ikana yitsungera mubo kande ngokwa babere tubwera bate eminyetu nayo ikana yitsungeramu nerukande ebendo byamaenda ndeke esahata bya buvuyi bosi mu studio tuwete ya Edina Kasese ni programs officer kande niyo akakora ebyesyande kateka habe kitunge kya Faraja Africa Foundation. Itwatunga Mumbere Godson oyikaro machitunge cha Vision International Actors, itwatunga Kabuo Silvia na yukaro machitunge cha Vision International Actors. Tunawete nabandi bayeni oma studio beitu leka ngatatsuka bwa kuhichako oundi muyeni nayo oyamabiri asa omwa chinemba chikuwetu nayo akasakanya kwanzuma esyane sumerere muyeni wasinjeri asa
wasinja moderator bahulikire bantu mwabuchire nganderi mabanyi cyayi abantu babritsuka enda katakeno usana iri cyukwa bandu kamyati hambe ngene ne minyeto mwitsungira mabuholo kandi no makalulu ngahola wamwe kule Godfrey Kiwede ngakola nekitongole cyalapi Uganda kandi ngari human rights defender.
Okay. Wasinja wasinja mulikiri mwanzo neribwa ahaturutwa matahika ebakenda bakatrukanirya ebakatrukaniraya okwa eminyetro nayo ngokwa yitolere erihebwa a platform eyabanga kolesya okwerangirende vama kehia obuvuyo kotsi obuvuyo sebule baneka neryo nganza tutatsuka na chiwede kule Godfrey nayo abinya katuherera yesi highlights kutse overview eminyetru muliworo yikana itsungira yite omwabusombole kandi ukarangira twangakolesya atute eminyetru okwikehya obuvuyo omwabusombole
wasinja kutsibu echo kubanza ganteri tukerisime government ya Republic of Uganda kusangwa ikari organizing omunyetru ebatwereria ekyasirinde hanes kuma special interest groups eminyetru lya college yabiri ma special interest groups kandi batwereria netru omuiso aweri twangana itsungiro mashanda katreka eshusi eshe government ambana kulabiriria omwitsungiro makaruru enani imwana mu weekend mtu atungire eminyetru na ikatunga buko mebwayi tikamanyisa chiti eminyetru na lya college yabya represented ebirinkano byabo ebyabakayitrana bya college byatokerando kwa meza byatokera hanu lwako neriba kandi ngandirisime eminyetru Kasese busana nerebi abitukera hangana ndereke omwe tungera mamyati hambengene no busombole kwabo amenduka lebya hatya esehenu okabandu bose baluba itsimbiri walangira almost kuburi kitsumbe
ekoni omunyetru
yes ita wilo musha primaries where out of now with you ito onani ma primaries NRM iseba hasa kwa lakini myaka merere walangira ma all political positions kwetse all political parties isina kuli eminyetru nemwe itsungira mushu kima sajet there is some empowerment now eminyetru mukulaje bitukera ndeka menya na kuyangana kulachi kuyangana taking over obwembembeti riba tumayitungira kwa chindo cha hambengene nemyatsi eminyetru erondekani obuholo mobutukungu kwa karuru always akabakabya karuru hakana babaneka nakula birenge Kasese kana rabaneka some triggers kwete emno bikandi kanganda kana baneka abaneka etsuru neriba this time around wamanduka libi masha trends eshe Kasese 2011 2016 na 2020 2020 yaberendreke kulaba enyuma
kwisinga 2016
2016 ukalangira oma post na oma pre post and during elections babane ka some triggers kwete ebendo bikenda ngana kulachi hangana bane ka karenga kavuyu kandre ukabalangira of course young people baka dominating oma population eribini babanene nabo mundu sebeka nganda mabya kavuyu okweminyetru kusangwa ya minene ngana kulachi ngana kavuyu omaitungira makavuyu but this time around I want to really appreciate in the nyetru sala abaneka chindo chamani manda kuziba ngana inde batsunzerere kulachi ari makavuyu but what are those triggers all this kagira muna Kasese hano utukobona kwasanganisha abere byaho kusangwa habere delay mu declare ngo buroro habere emebere eyerebya abantu batikiraniza hagati kabo habere mereka ngana inde either habere excessive force mahe habere arbitrary arrests hamba abantu bakirachite but 2020 no ukalangira Kasese situta experiencing eribira hakendi bya a lot of intimidations from security agencies kwetsa hakendi bira bamahamba mundu hanabere kind of erekolongana eminyetru yalingisiria kutsebe elangende ka avoidinga ebendu ebyangaleka but I think this is brought about just because of the civic education.
Yes, that is what we had earlier talked about.
Yes, everyone habanikire bitu ngabe nene abantu rishi abantu ribwanu we can still have peaceful elections kandre pieces in our hands twebosi nabantu ndibakatukana bakamenya bakaratia na mabi na mayendo makaruru ngawute candidate omurwa ine wahai what is my responsibility, what is my role ngomukomi is just to go and cast my vote omiwa yenganzire candidate wai ngani mukulenga ngani kwabeni akabishari tangaleka omuntu atsakula indasa itsungura makalo but want to attribute peaceful elections so far samatabia we don't know what is ahead of course akana be post election violence but we don't expect that but so far we can attribute this to so many organizations coming on board and their civic education but no kana bantu langere experience ya Kasese this time around mna what experience 2016 sitwanze kasakulaji ikasaba naika Kasese but also na children I think this time around security ya behaving rendeke sabatalondekani renga joe rikodia kodia abandu
omuronde security nika korera yabandu kotse eminyetro nebo bakabyanga bakanze joe abalia
many times because then security mandated keeping the law and order but maruko lachi ba mavrebia so kind of rude walangira every situation was rikola ba taking setting up every situation even where they're not supposed to even deploy wala bari kolaba deploying na bakama college bakaba kola abantu halenga hari chiba kaila rekerera na bantu akena ziri college because young people bakaba about money they want to establish to discover why is there excessive deployment na banza remain because they have the energies and the remain na romo chosa na college mapana ka ikene ngabu either echinywe the language we use so omunyeto ana kusinga echinywe chiri college echika hitinga omundu security personnel
na rolinya retaliating
nanzi responding back bakaba ka responding na rona bande because the young people never nene kan
basibari kwawa
ayuanga ba witra money kan bakantu bakolesa money yayi nosa na college mabro baneka chaka trokutsebu omazuru katika minyeto yes
wasinja echitunge cha Faraja Africa Foundation chana sire hano iche yesia eminyeto kwa buhoro then muri woro omwebutuko bwo busombole habya erangera mbo banawete abandu abakayakora observation missions nganza ukana yino kwechu ngachina wete ngukwa chika contributing kwerangera ndahama bya obuhoro mu abusombole kandi na eminyeto na yamabya evolved
well ati ebitunga bikabika sawa one ebitunga mu birwa bimana kutsebu is to complement the efforts
as a government
established structures as a government even when government inaut ebitunga bya ibana kutsebu but bikabisa ngamwe bikendi kola bikendi bya everywhere kwetera kola uri mubiri wose nero amani we bitunga bya government area seri complementing amani we government chikawotrika yembiri mana kutsebu aduka sanga nange Faraja rebye one me anatukeriasa yekasatunga sha trainings mu district mahana nero kana bitunga bya yongerako chikakola chikachungula obwongo obwe minyeto college ekabiri ayi nabakatenda bakamenya fukasera mahai omaburu buru etomuna kutsibu ne wahai so bakatungana ba observers abalire within amaminyeto nero kandi aba observers bano so omuntu omulera kabya kalangira
omunyeto muyenzi wewe
nani mo observing oburu naye ani muitsungira maburu college ebirikanye kwa buhol namyata I think
na yikwanga naturally
this is the way to go now
but
ufuko bulabiri kwasanga nibiri emene nayo kabinga iri dominate n'abantu bakulu
so aba wuti siyambo
always want their space, we always want to claim their space. Where are we coming from? Where are we? If our space has been infringed on omanya bwatu bamafala bashakulu bano bakulu kima se to college we must struggle hard and like to carry claiming our spaces. So tukatoka langera young organization is empowering young people, bringing young people on board. Naruna munyatori ayoka ngani atumbeno iyo aberebya abrisi nyuma akalangera kuba embarrass kwewe a mindset yiwe psychologically I think we also coming on board, we can also still move on kwese nariba kana ko anganalengesha netenge step ya ziri how did you come to get involved in this na basanga na witre a platform eyereba nganakanya ngaba ngeminyetu nerega no bulenkanya bwabo. I think that's what is happening now Kasese, especially mo tukubunu I've been moving around and I've seen very many young people getting involved observation, monitoring, ecology, we can come talking about peace. So walangera would chikaine reka nabande baloka ngenebelo nganabi involved because our youth about network sharp have so many followers. So our network sharp movement sharp we should na mabenga inga Godfrey I have so many followers bakasi nyimashanye kana na influencing. So if I told them and say no, I think it is our responsibility as young people to participate amabukome freely, but also to critically understand that we need peace as young people because we always the target when there is any kind of trigger. People who are involved want to look at so everyone want to look at young people in college, even when they are not involved in any kind of violence, but they will either security and other actors want to think they will target the young people because about money college, maybe they influence, they can be moved by anyone. Wasanga band abakahamba wako isibelo bayitsingira namo view but because someone thinks that abantu college ukomanda bakakola kavuyi tsebo kasera so asa nukalangira this morning actually even passed by kwa police because that is where I work. But in another college I have not so far got any reports of arrests. Asha minyeto 2016 by now
kambi syango musisiri
already the detention cells shabsha college
isya virusu
sasa nuka langsata college
esa hatabya ne hamba no mundu no mo
hamba mundu and people are still moving on with their businesses. I've seen young people, but yesterday I saw young people bakagenda cast their vote and they go on their businesses mwasha welding omuchinaji so jama sa chetre the best thing we can always do especially information.
Okay.
Information is power.
Yes.
The young people need that information. Ohambenga no kubanga tokere yerenda kubanga tokere itsungira mu mibiri ya government na shanda kateke sindishusi eba nebo holo kandi banoti chibakaronde chakalubera eba kendi college eba kendro lembere tsukeri langirendre bakabya ba champions omwi college omwikani kwa buholo omwirondekani obuholo. But what has been happening before, youth were not brought on board, were not involved.
Okay.
So you are talking about peace, you're not involving youth. You are talking about anything, you don't want to bring youth on board. But if you want to bring them on board, you become so selective. You know, youth have numbers, but the rate, for example, if there is an activity, but you know this activity out of the hundreds of young people. So so I want to think as a district in Kasese a population of young people dominate so at least there has to be some good percentage of bringing young people on board in everything.
Okay.
Yes.
Wasinja omwami chiwede did you say you are a human rights defender or a champion?
I work with the Center for Hope and Life After Prison as executive director.
Okay.
But my passion is about defending human rights.
Okay. Wasinja kutsebo oyo yomwami kule chiwede Godfrey amabitukanirya bendo benene behambire kwa minyetu kande ngokwa mutolere imwe itsungira omwabusombole kande imwarangira mute obuli chendu chikabya chabuhoro. Edna, you have had several of those issues. He has talked about youth representation. He has talked about most of the youth this time round were contesting almost in all the political parties and at various positions. Have you been engaging the youth to participate in elective politics, or you have been sensitizing them only about peace?
No, not exactly. As Faraja Africa Foundation,
yes,
we had, I think, 2 projects where we engaged in encouraging young people to contest, to claim their space,
okay,
as I said, to claim their space in elective politics. We encouraged young people participation in democratic spaces, and we were working with the consortium of organizations where we have continuously one of the organizations has continuously trained these young people, resource mobilization, leadership skills,
okay,
and during when they have contested for this position.
Okay.
So it's a win on our side to see that more young people have participated and have contested in this elective politics, and we look forward to more young to have a time where we have only young people contesting. Okay. Yeah, because this is our country. Okay. And we know that we are the highest number, and like I said, we have the biggest influence. We have the biggest influence, we have the biggest numbers. So we don't want hand-me-downs. We don't want them to only use us as maybe how they call them, those mobilizers. Okay. We want to be the ones using them as mobilizers. Okay. We want it to be the other way around.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We have the numbers and we have the influence, and that's the most important, and they know that they actually fear us for that. Okay. So we look forward to making sure that our influence surpasses it, and our country, to take over our country as young people. Okay. And yeah.
All right. Nganza eribulia ya Kabuo Silvia. Muliworo muwana participating mwa observation. Nganza wende ukihayu esya issues esa hembiro kwa minyetu esya wenda ukasamalero mwa busombole obwe muliworo kusangwa ture tukatsuka mutuka tutemu athere bwa bohoro basically kandi nakwirabirira habwe rebya eminyetu eminene yikana sereuma on board eri tsungera omwa busombole. Ni issues sya hesya warangire esya lekire minyetu iyerira yewuma nari yitsungera omwa busombole ekyalekire obuhoro bwabya.
Basically, inje naimwa na participatinga. Baitu nganze disimaba youth first.
Yes.
Gasimaba youth habo boro over here, and they participated fully. No munduni akarwa hali nge Kampala, I'm coming to cast my vote.
Eni munyetu. Okay.
Baitu aba youth abane nabangarangira ini akahikaho ini akomakalukiwe ini asubek nat ngasha sulu bakasha kurechi eba kasharanga kalulu on top of that ngaze simya kutsiwe the security force njenga hanga komera even I moved to more than 10 betu ngarangi a police nyisanyisa it was keeping peace.
Okay.
Ukabuka ikawa kubulyambo, are you from A to L, are you from M to
Z, something like that.
You're supposed to be here. Actually sicherehu in the previous days.
Okay.
And ngokuba nat hirasha directives not supposed to put on echinocho sisekanga ne pate yao. Ukabuka ikawa they putting on those noob caps manyawo mbere mask ye noob akakuika kundekende kiwa kubulyambo. Urusaye kama usiyali sukolireki.
Eso renai.
Such something a police nisanyisa was keeping peace.
Okay.
Yeah, besides that na babithi basaba sibeneben babya involved kutibu. So it has chances ishabandu keeping a violent very less.
Okay.
Because our youth basaba sani bakari ya kutibu involved in those issues. But babindi bali kutibu involved first of all babya but iba itimbire kunga bandu. So dekati ngaleta akavuyu kayibaki. Ngaleta akavuyu banyira siranu erisasi even that eri hakuna chisa omasuka lebya ebintu bikabyaho
previously yes
abantu bakana ko babunene nomukaka burombuti ngama yako atukome ukolechi usubule hane sahiyane so isute ne chance nobutu kusubute watu wangana kolechi wangana kola kavu babambu wike ukome ukolechi usubule hanu udata ikaunga sha kolechi ngasha kwenda
okay
because baba nemu obuba ibakalo karangirane police wadairo kuya abo sibatubiti so babya omubu babunene in fact n'ekikine ko yo mubu babunene isalo mudoka lengekana ine kwat I should do violence obutsibundi bwai anything may happen to me.
Okay.
I may lose my life anytime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wasinja kabuo Silvia nganza eresuba okwa Edina kake after that itwanaenda eiraba hulikirire betru abakibuli. What plans do you have for the youth in the coming days or for the future to ensure that they keep up with this trend, fully participating in elections and assuring that there is peace? Because most of the time they are the ones blamed for those issues of violence and other acts that disorganize elections.
Okay. Of course, advocacy does not end. Advocacy doesn't end, so we'll keep advocating.
Okay.
But we'll keep giving young people a platform to advocate for their inclusion.
Okay.
But for this particular time, we are in Kasese today for a town hall meeting where we have got 30 young people who are going to discuss peace.
Okay. How do you select those people? Because I would also like to be among.
How do we select? We are working with Godson.
Yes.
So
and other individuals around?
Yeah, we're working with Godson.
Okay, okay.
As the focal person.
Okay.
But now Godson is the one who... But we have specific demographics.
Okay.
We have 14 women, 11 men,
okay,
persons living with disability. We make sure at least
each category is considered.
Is represented.
Okay.
Then in the coming days after that, we'll pick 10 people from today, especially stakeholders, the ones who have influence in outstanding people who have influence in Kasese, women in politics, the youth chairperson, the borders. We want to also involve the informal sector.
Yes.
The leader of the
and
borders.
That's very good.
The market associations, the leaders. We want to involve them and train them how to keep peace as young people.
Okay.
Yeah? We also are going to, after that, we are going to task them to influence at least some numbers. Okay. And then we'll come back and engage those numbers they have influenced. Okay. So those 10 people, all of them will suggest the number of people they have, and then we meet them and ask them, how are you influenced by this person? Okay. So that is the essence of this project. Okay. And we look forward to working with young people in Kasese. We look forward to having more peace. Yes. That is... because we know that it's young people. If we see peace, we know that it's young people who have decided and said, you know what, my life is not worth it. Because we did a lot of campaigns. So many civil society organizations, like your part, so many organizations did campaigns, they did advocacy to make sure that we can have as many young people on board. Okay. doing the work of ensuring peace.
All right.
Thank you.
Mulikiri Mwanza, I think maybe you can wear your headphones and we receive the questions or comments from the listeners. Kwa 0 musanju munani munani sanju ni 5 sanju ni biringana musanju na 0 musanju 5 ini 2 ni 3 atani 3 10 nguma kutse 0 musanju mwenda nguma 2 na musanju ani ni 5 nga ni 5 aho ukende bya euka trovwera ekibulyo kikowawo erusirira okwawa mabiryowa ebe abali omwa studio bakenda bakatusoberera kubakakanayo kwa buhoro emenyetru twanga waticha itute eritsungera omwa buhoro bano bane mukorebyo kandi bakarangira bati emenyetru yekayitsungera omwa busombole baitu omwa mibere eikaleta obuhoro nyisa leka tusamalira bali kwa chihororo. Hello. Kule Amoni ke haya volume ya radio yao
ngaterere Maliba
kule Amoni Maliba
ngama ulikire program namo iwene kusibu alimatwale risima vision in Faraja.
Yes.
Edini namo inicha okuba yuti cha program esiringese.
Okay.
Oma samarufu kwa bunene ituwa yusi tugali affected ya weri suliminya nguni viri aisingi okutu kuwa special investi group shaba youth iwa zamang okuba kiko mesha then nimuba tuwira bati muviki nafu kundi aba youth muba karua Neri ungasaba vision ne Faraja in the ambient Maria considering abantu banatokeriminya ekibatole yerikora.
Okay.
Ningatolere na iniyo ina yomu kwa abo bakarundanye
kale di wasinja
eriya volunteer
wasinja members, keep your questions short and brief. This is Amon from Maliba sub-county over town council something. He's saying the youth are affected due to lack of information. So it's like you can also reach your services to them and empower them. Something like that. Hello.
Hello.
Light FM.
Namasi program ni Sinja.
Amena.
Mbere Alex akinde Maliba town council.
Alex Maliba town council.
Namasi program ni ngayo. Yetukere kititoba yutu kasiningire mina bakayo abantu nga balimo banoti ngiri na bana bisinyaponi kinisi banaso ngaba kuyo kumesh.
Okay. Okay, this is Alex from Maliba Town Council. He says jobs that are available are again given to teachers, even people who have other engagements, which makes the youth get disoriented.
And to be specific, he was talking about those election related vacancies.
Exactly. And this is partly true. You find teachers, some nurses are the ones who are presiding officers, those positions. Hello.
Amusha koro honorable Kasese and sons mkutibirizi wandatanya teunikasu.
Ibanda chanya.
Machibirizi lo man. Actually ngesi mamuli woro abukomebukana nande kutsibu kanje bayisi ndoko sima kutsibu kamba koro mutuma lengo kundingabe na kora research singata no ngwa hotel kesingata na mutu siwa wira kwamba sumbuwa ekinga kisimira nyamuhanga nerenga muticha kavere ngabe mind ya mbere nebe mundu somesha kundukana ngutu kuba somuseba ikiba kutsibu awo singina bukomwenda ndreke iba kaba timisiriza bichi bichina nitimamba Loma brasaba kanda bakaminya what is bad and good.
Okay.
So ndo ndimulekera ewe musumisha ba youth. Aribe tindicha kasatu abantu mutu wetikaye. Samutemu kwa kasangana mviringo yu ene mviro ba youth ukariyo karoro call. Yewa sangana kulibasha kulibasaba siba bakanziri tufundia. So kintu mutu wetikaye kwa kusevu. Akanuka ngabani kasunu bani kwa youth. Akatumye kundindika kwa youth. Iti wasangana kasent culture of all the people. Itu anarekeng. Akabaka basha koro banamuka iraza tulemu.
Okay.
This is Kasese and sons from Kivirizi Lower.
Okay. He's called.
Thank you for the program.
Welcome. He's called Kasese and Sons. He says there was no violence because you engaged the youth more. So you should continue with this, but he's also lamenting about issues of jobs being given to older people. Sharon Maska. Hello. Okay, ukende subura. Hello Maska. Okay, boroboro. Mulikiri mwanzo tutsuke bwenda na abo abama bebaneka okwa Chihororo. Maybe we can have your responses tuketsukana chiwede. After that neryo itwenda tukamuvinga tutya tukayaunzerere.
Kale wasinja changanze ritukerewere minyetu okubole chikaro eritukirima kwa LC1 LC2 LC3 erikirima kwa LC5 hane omwanya owe minyetu bichangale tukana chingabuwe ndibano special industry group minyetu
omwanya yinyane specific hale omukali no murume kotse ene.
Yes, all youth male and female.
Okay.
Those positions neriba eriwindre chitwa chikabanekera hari a gap omamenyetro yenu abakatekinga leadership at lower local government units. Eribya nabasipali kula isipalitunga kind of interaction to empower them to disseminating information ihambe ngenene minyetro.
Okay.
Bakabakola budgets ebirobenu hari decentralization. Etukanza priorities eshe minyetro silwa kwa LC1
Siana
sube yiwolu. So hamabe hari interest interest group kwete minyeto kwa chipende. Ampaka kulachi gombore kasaba priorities ishe budget ishe financial year ishe tukira hai kabun. Now that youth as a special interest group eba retreat issues here our issues for this financial year or for these 5 years. Now for example Kasese district is already working on the 5-year development plan. And how are the young people's issues captured in the 5-year development plan?
Baba Nasi.
Now, what is happening? Yes, well, I've been one person who has been participating in that project.
Let us wind up with the Kasese responding on issues that youth have raised.
Okay, I think the most outstanding was the fact that Electoral Commission jobs are now given to people who are already employed.
Yes.
So I think this is supposed to be an information gap. Because I personally, saw an advert where they were calling for... And
everybody who is who qualifies is free to apply.
Yes, as long as you're about...
So what happens to the youth?
So I'm not really certain. Is it that they didn't apply, or is it that they applied and they were not selected?
Or they do not qualify.
Or they don't even qualify.
Yes.
It could be that.
Yes.
But... the part of Electoral Commission has done its part with advertising and making it open to everyone, to the audience and to the public. Okay. So it's up to you, the young person, to apply. If you don't qualify, then it should be merit now.
Okay.
It should be merit. So there should be maybe information, public policy information, where young people are actually educated about their role or educated about policies and how these processes are done. Okay. And I think I'm going to include that in my report.
Okay, so that's very good. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Mwasinja siamade kama 52 esiamara bukwasa 2 tukasera kwikuhino butukobwesa 3 abo babaye nibukuwetu abature nabo erira ahatulye tsukira nere ngasabende mwende mukarabye ikinya cyoma ekeriunzerera ekihambiro kwesaba eminyetu eriyitsungera omwabuli kindo cyosi kwirabiryango obusombole bitu ebakaleta obuhoro. Just one word.
Thank you, our senior moderator. Eminyetu minyi chai. There is life after elections.
Yes.
Life has to continue. Abuyengo banganabyaho nobokamwe babiri college.
Ebwaberera bakotse bwatabya na.
Twasindira kendreke buli mundu ala nawo yaka supportinga nga candidate wewe. Bulu bwa maberehuwa obwatulwa kukana obundi kinalo lembere. Chatu kandidates basaba and I'm so worried. My worry is lelusiba no kwalwa ka supporting abantu babo akana baneka omndari umndwa unawa the one kene utungana college either want to think of committing suicide. No, tukandere basaba and tukubeka obuholo munabwire tukende tukaholekerera declarations esho kwatwa labo muri wolo nakulabiriria ba members of parliament tubeka obuholo because always akana baneka post election violence. We don't want to hear that as young people.
Okay.
Omundu ngandere kutebereria either mbunyane ilo itsimbiri atmanda mkola kavuyo omundu yakandiri kwitishia bure.
Okay.
You can still live even after elections and life has to continue.
Okay.
Peace is in our hands.
All right. Thank you so much. one last word.
Okay. So from what you have said, peace is in our hands.
Okay.
As young people. And from what I gather here, it seems the most dangerous elections are not actually the presidential elections.
Okay.
They are these elections of the people who we have direct contact to, the LC5s, and people are going to commit suicide if their candidate doesn't win, and people are killing each other if they're not supporting. So as young people, we should know that it is our responsibility. It is our responsibility to guard our lives, to guard our property, to guard the lives of our parents. So as a young person, we know that you're brilliant, and we know that you have this information, and we know that you have a means of how to bring up peace in Kasese. So ensure that you take in the results well. If your person doesn't win, there is life after election. Focus on your own growth, not the other person's growth. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Trunzarena Sylvia.
Osinja kutibu moderator. Ichanga nzewira abantu abalisheyo. Abantu bose bangasinga. Ukabya mundu muwuma okasinga. So I want to tell them to keep peace out there just like they did. Nesimwa tibya kavuya kosi. I just want them to keep like that even the forthcoming elections.
Okay.
Yeah, osinja kutibu.
Okay. Mwasinja kutsebo abaini betru abamabiriasa neriturabirya emyatsi yayu eyihambire okwa erengerambo